Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, verse number 27. Gatayo matayaschaiva paschat payaschittam samarpanam पुरुषा अव्यायवै संभाराः संभृतः माया. Word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace ऐसे Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada की जय. Word meaning, Gathaya, progress to the ultimate goal, Vishnu, Mataya, worshipping the demigods, as also eva certainly, prayaschittam compensation, samarpanam ultimate offering, purusa the supreme personality, the personality of Godhead, avyavai, from the parts of the body of the personality of Godhead. Yate, these sambharaha, the ingredients sambrataha, were arranged maya by me. Translation: Thus, I have to arrange all these necessary ingredients and paraphernalia of sacrifice from the personal bodily parts of the personality of Godhead by invocation of the demigods' names. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, was gradually attained, and thus compensation and ultimate offering were complete. But in this verse, special stress is given to the person of the Supreme Lord and not to his impersonal Brahma Jyoti as being the source of all supplies. Narayana, the Supreme Lord, is the goal of sacrificial results, and therefore the Vedic hymns are ultimately meant for attaining this goal. Human life is thus made successful by pleasing Narayana and getting entrance into the direct association of Narayana in the spiritual kingdom of Vaikuntha. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीन बन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता श्री राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते. तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. कृष्णपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय श्रीमते जयपताकस्मान्निति नामिने नमो चरिपदाय निताय कृपाप्रदाय गौरवदनं मतादिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश. Hare Krishna. So today we'll be discussing from Canto 2, chapter number 6, verse number 27. Before I go ahead, I'll just read the translation again. Thus, I have to arrange all these necessary ingredients and paraphernalia of sacrifice from the personal bodily parts of the personality of Godhead by invocation of demigods' names. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, was gradually attained, and thus compensation and ultimate offering were complete. So, in today's words, as it is written in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing on the personal feature of the Supreme Lord. So, Srila Prabhupada is here, he is specifically mentioning as to how Lord Brahma is collecting all the ingredients that is required for performing the sacrifice from the body of the Supreme Lord. So it is indicating here that the Supreme Lord has a body and he is not impersonal. It doesn't that he is not some light. He is not a Brahma Jyoti. So, why is Srila Prabhupada mentioning about the personal feature of the Supreme Lord is to break the philosophy of Mayavada. So, what do Mayavadis claim? Mayavadis claim that the Supreme Lord does not have a form, and at the end of the existence, we will merge into the Brahma Jyoti. So, merging into the Brahma Jyoti and becoming one with the Supreme Lord is what is the concept of Mayavada. But Srila Prabhupada, in the first line of the purport itself, he is, breaking down the Mayavada philosophy. We know how Srila Prabhupada is always against this Mayavada philosophy and he never tolerates it. So, first thing is that he's establishing that the Supreme Lord has a form. Because the Supreme Lord has a form, we can see that the Jivatmas are also having a form. So, because the Supreme Lord in the Bhagavad Gita tells, Mamaivamsha Jiva Loke. That means we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And as Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport, he tells that we are qualitatively the same, but quantity is the quantity of the qualities that Krishna has in proportion to what Krishna has, it is less. So Srila Prabhupada gives an example of the fire and the spark of the fire. So as the Supreme Lord is claiming that we are all the part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So, therefore, whatever the Supreme Lord possesses, the same is what the Jivatmas, we as Jivatma have, but in a very minute quantity. So that because the Supreme Lord has a form, we can see that even we are having a form. So therefore, this entire Mayavada philosophy is just a bogus, and it is they're just coming up with this philosophy which is not true. So Bhaktidhira Damodar Swami Maharaj, he was mentioning as to why does Mayavada philosophy come into existence? Why does it? Why do people claim, or why do these Mayavadis claim that at the end of the existence, when we leave this body, we merge into Brahma Jyoti, become one with the Supreme Lord? Why is this entire philosophy coming at first place? Maharaj tells that this is coming because the individual is, or the living entity is frustrated with the form he has. He is thinking that just because I've got this particular form of body, I am not able to enjoy to the fullest. So what he is thinking, once I give up this form of body and merge into the Brahma Jyoti, he can become one with the Lord and enjoy to the ultimate. But Maharaj was mentioning a point telling that if somebody is merging into the Brahma Jyoti, how is it possible to enjoy? Because he does not have an individual identity. He is merging into somebody else. He is merging into the Brahma Jyoti. And by merging into somebody else, he no longer remains himself. He does not have an individual identity. So, because of that, he is unable to enjoy. It is impossible to enjoy. So, how is it that that concept is still existing? It is impossible, right? He cannot enjoy. So, why is he unable to understand it? Because he's thinking he's the body and not the soul. So that individual jivatma is thinking once he leaves this body, he will be able to enjoy, but he is not able to understand that once he leaves this body, he has to take up another body, and he'll not be able to enjoy. Just by changing the body, a person cannot enjoy, or just by merging into an Brahma Jyoti, a person cannot enjoy. And that entire thing that is why that entire philosophy is called bogus. Because practically, if you analyze it, it is really not possible for somebody to merge into something, merge into somebody else, and become like that and then enjoy. So that entire philosophy of mayavada is coming because he's frustrated with the form of body he is having. So that is the first thing as to how Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that the Supreme Lord has a body. So next, if we see what is the next thing we can take from this sloka is how Brahma is taking everything that he needs for performing a sacrifice from Vishnu. So, what is it here is that everything that is required is being provided by Krishna. Srila Prabhupada over and again emphasizes on the same point that everything that an individual requires is provided by the Supreme Lord. There is nothing that we are as an individual, I am working, and therefore I am able to get my bread and butter. That is not the case. I was hearing to Srila Prabhupada's one of Srila Prabhupada's lecture, and in that lecture Srila Prabhupada was mentioning as to how I think it was in San Francisco. The lecture was given in San Francisco. And Srila Prabhupada was mentioning, when he was giving the lecture, he was mentioning, telling that if if you take a census in the San Francisco, you will be able to understand that the population of humans with in comparison with that of the animals, birds, aquatic life. If you take the entire census, you will be able to understand that human population is very little, has come in proportion to the animals, aquatics, and all the birds. So Srila Prabhupada was telling to this human form of life, to the human population, humans claim that I am working hard, I am earning my bread and butter. Okay, so what is it? Humans are claiming that I am doing everything for myself. But if you see in comparison to the birds and the other aquatic animals, for that population, who is feeding? Krishna is feeding them. So Krishna is providing that the animal population everything that the animal requires. It could be food, shelter, everything Krishna is providing. So the human population is very minute, very tiny, and we are claiming that we are doing everything for ourselves. But Prabhupada was telling us to how Krishna is providing everything, and it is not that just because I am going to work, I am earning, I am able to sustain. Even to get that job, even for you to go to work, Krishna has to provide. Otherwise, nothing in this material world exists. And that is what Krishna is telling, that even this material energy is under his control. So we can see how Brahma is taking everything from Krishna and is giving it back to Krishna. So even Bhakti Dhira Damodar Swami Maharaj makes a very wonderful point with regard to this verse. What is he telling in the word to word meaning? Prabhupada gives the word to one meaning for Prayashchittam as compensation. Maharaj was telling as to how great the acharyas are. They know which word has to be placed as per the conversation that has been going on in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaj was telling Prayashchitam actually means atonement. That means we are atoning for something we have already done. But here, Srila Prabhupada is using here word to word meaning for Prayashchitam, he is using compensation. So Maharaj very beautifully explains why Srila Prabhupada is using compensation. So why is it? Because Brahma is taking everything from the Supreme Lord and he is offering. See, we can see Maharaj tells he took gold, water, sky, earth, all this Brahma took from Vishnu, and as an appreciation for what Vishnu has done. So we can see Brahma is not come out individually. It is not that, without any father, Brahma is been born. No, we know that Brahma has come out of the lotus stem that was emerging out of the navel of the Supreme Lord, right? So Brahma has come out from that, and Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, is Brahma's father. So, as an appreciation to the Supreme Lord for all that the Supreme Lord has done to Brahma, as an appreciation, as a token of love, this Brahma is taking everything from Supreme Lord and offering it to the Supreme Lord. So here, what do we understand? What is Brahma teaching us? That everything belongs to Krishna, and whatever we take from the Supreme Lord, it is the duty that we give it back. That giver mentality is what this Brahma is teaching us here. So, in Srila Prabhupada, he makes a very nice statement. You know what he tells? He tells that Krishna is, uh, we are all in the Brahma Samhita, Brahma is worshipping the Supreme Lord and he is telling Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So when he is telling that, he is worshipping the Supreme Lord. And Srila Prabhupada tells that we all have to worship somebody. The wife worships the husband worships the wife, or husband worships his parents, the children worship their parents, and at the end, if they don't get anybody to worship, then they're worshipping some dog or a cat in the house. So, but Srila Prabhupada tells we are so fortunate, we have become devotees and we worship the original source, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So, Srila Prabhupada tells it is not at all difficult to worship Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada even tells why is it not difficult to worship Krishna? Prabhupada tells that because Krishna tells Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati Tadham Bhakti Upahartam Asnami Prayatatmanaha. Krishna is telling that you offer me fruit, flower, leaf, water, but offer me with devotion. So, what is Krishna teaching us in this shloka? Krishna is teaching us that whatever you are having is given by the Supreme Lord, and we have to have that giving mentality. Srila Prabhupada tells Krishna is not a beggar, he is not waiting for your fruit, flower, leaf, but Krishna is begging for your love, and that is what Brahma is doing here. Brahma is offering it with, out of love. So that is very important, that giving mentality. Once Srila Prabhupada, he goes to US, and when he was in US, a reporter asks Srila Prabhupada, he asks, he has that challenging mentality. And Srila Prabhupada, we know how he, immediately breaks down another person's false ego. So, with a very challenging and a pride mentality, he asked Srila Prabhupada, "Why have you come, Swamiji? Why have you come to US?" So, Srila Prabhupada asks back the reporter, telling, "Why have you come to US?" And the reporter replies, "Because, there are new opportunities in US, so I've come." And Srila Prabhupada tells, "Even I have come for a new opportunity." And he gives such a striking statement. He tells that, "But only difference is you have come as a beggar and I have come as a giver. I have come here to give the ultimate truth, that is the Bhagavad Gita, and here you have come as a beggar, begging for some little money." So what can we learn? As we can see this giver mentality right from Brahma, as to how Brahma, whatever he has got from the Supreme Lord, he is giving it back. And even Srila Prabhupada, whatever he has got from his Guru Maharaj, the supreme truth, he is giving the best. He is not giving anything ordinary to us. He is giving the best, whatever best he has got from his spiritual master, he is giving it out to the jivatmas. We never get this giving mentality. We always want to lord it over, and that is the reason we come back to the material world. We always want to keep possessing, possessing, possessing. There is a very nice joke in Tamil. My Prabhu was sharing it with me, and he was telling, there was a person, he goes to the Lord, and you know what he does? He prays to the Lord, "Lord, from today, whatever you give me, in that I will give you half." So he prays that to the Supreme Lord, that to the Lord, and he'll be coming out. There'll be another person who will be watching him pray like this. And after that, when he comes out, and while he's going back on his way home, he'll find a 500 rupee note, and he'll pick it up, and he'll tell, "Oh Lord, I just prayed for you. You're so merciful. You have given me 500 rupees." And what actually would have told, whatever he gives, he'll pick it up, put it in his pocket, and start walking. So that other person would have heard him praying that whatever the Supreme Lord gives, he will give half in that. So this person will come and ask him, just now you prayed you will give half, and now you're taking everything and going. And now this person will tell, actually what, see, the Lord is so merciful. The Lord could have sent me 1,000 rupees, but he knows it will become difficult for me to find the change, so he has sent me 500. That means one of the 500 the Lord has kept, and he is giving me another 500. So what do we understand? The person, we, not only him, even we don't have this giving mentality, but we have to offer everything to the Supreme Lord. My Prabhu usually keeps telling, whenever I offer this boga, he keeps telling, you're every day offering the boga. So what are you thinking? You're thinking the Lord is waiting for the two chapatis or the rice, sabji, everything that you're giving to the Supreme Lord. So he told, I did not understand when he told me this, but he told, why is he, asking, why is Prabhupada asking you to offer? Because every day when you keep offering all this food stuff, the slowly that love inside your heart will come, and one day there will be a day wherein you will offer your heart, you offer yourself to the Supreme Lord. So the Lord is waiting for that day, and because of that, every day Srila Prabhupada is asking us to offer, so that one day we'll come to that platform wherein we'll offer everything to the Supreme Lord, our own selves to the Supreme Lord. So that is what is Lord Brahma also showing us. Okay, then we'll move on to the next point that we can take. Here, we can see that Brahma is inviting all the demigods, because if in the purport also Srila Prabhupada, sorry, in the translation Srila Prabhupada is telling there is invocation of demigods name. So if any person reads this, they'll think that why is Brahma inviting all the demigods? Maharaj gives a very nice explanation to this. He is telling that Brahma is inviting all the demigods, you know, not to offer the obligations to the demigod, but is inviting all the demigods so that he can the ultimate sacrifice he can give it to the supreme lord. So here it is not that Brahma is doing the worship of demigods, but he is invoking the demigods so that he can through the demigods, through the invocation of demigods, he can perform the sacrifice and he can offer it to the supreme lord. So what is the ultimate goal? Maharaj tells a person who leads his life having a goal that satisfying the supreme lord is the only aim of his life, that person is leading the most fortunate life. He is leading the most fortunate life. So Brahma is making his ultimate sacrifice to the supreme lord. And here Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport telling that pleasing Narayana is the only way to get entrance into Vaikuntha. So how is it? How can we please the Supreme Lord? Pleasing the Supreme Lord is very difficult, right? Because the Lord is everything a materialistic person can desire. So he is not lacking anything. So pleasing the Supreme Lord is not that easy. It is very difficult. So, I was hearing from one of the Matajis, she was telling it is very easy to please the Supreme Lord. So, how is it? How does the Supreme Lord accept our offering? Is that when a person performs the yagna, the Lord comes in form of the fire in the yagna and he offers a he accepts the offering that we make in form of the fire in the yagna. And the second thing is that feeding the brahmanas, feeding the Vaishnavas, when the Supreme Lord comes in form of the mouth of the Vaishnavas and he accepts the prasadam. So in that way, when we offer, prasadam to Vaishnavas, we feed Vaishnavas nicely. That time the Supreme Lord will get satisfied. So in this age of Kali, performing a sacrifice, you need qualified brahmanas. But for feeding Vaishnavas, you don't need any qualification. You just need to have a very big heart and you have to feed Vaishnavas. You know, Gaurahari Prabhu always tells this, when you're serving the Vaishnavas, you have to serve with your heart content. Even when you're taking the right from the time you're taking prasadam from the vessel and you're putting into the Vaishnava's plate, he always tells you have to serve with your wholeheartedness. And that is one thing, Prabhu always tries and he does that. He serves Vaishnavas very nicely because the Supreme Lord is coming and accepting the prasadam through the mouth of the Vaishnavas. So that pleases the Supreme Lord. And we can see it is not easy to please the Supreme Lord, and the only medium we can go is going through the Guru, going through Srila Prabhupada, going through the Guru Parampara. That is the only way we can please the Supreme Lord. You know, it was very difficult. We can see how Srila Prabhupada, just for the pleasure of his Guru Maharaj, he went to a Western country where he did not know anything. He carried the instructions of his Guru Maharaj and took a set of Srimad Bhagavatam. He went to the abroad and he preached the glories. And one of the Matajis, Malati Mataji, so in US, there is a festival that happens, that is they make a ship, like how Srila Prabhupada came in Jaladuta. He comes and he arrives in Boston. So in US there is a festival where there is a specific point. From that specific point they make a ship and they come to Boston and they land. So this is a festival that happens, and where it is almost an hour journey from that particular spot in US to Boston. And when all the disciples of Srila Prabhupada were traveling, and they were all sharing different pastimes of Srila Prabhupada, and then Malati Mataji, it is Malati Mataji's turn, and they ask Malati Mataji to share her pastimes with Srila Prabhupada, and she just tells one line, and she tells, I am sitting in this boat just for 35 minutes and I feel like puking. But my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, he traveled in this boat for 37 days, and it was a cargo ship. And how difficult it was for Srila Prabhupada. And he took all this burden to give Krishna consciousness to us and to please his Guru Maharaj. So, Srila Prabhupada knew, even though I am taking this risk and he's risking his life and coming, he's doing it to please his Guru Maharaj. And we can see the same thing in our Gurudev. Once Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, His Holiness, he asks our Guru Maharaj, telling that, how are you? And Guru Maharaj tells, I'm very happy. So, how is Guru Maharaj telling he is very happy? We know what is the condition of Guru Maharaj, and still he is telling, I'm very happy. How is Srila Gurudev able to tell he is very happy in spite of all his bodily circumstances? Is because Srila Gurudev is carrying the instructions of his Guru Maharaj, that is Srila Prabhupada, in his heart, and is constantly meditating how to please his Guru Maharaj. So, because his constant meditation is on pleasing his Gurudev, he is able to, remain blissful in spite of all these material conditions. So, that is what we can learn from all these great personalities. Lord Brahma wanted to please the Supreme Lord, Srila Prabhupada wanted to please the Supreme Lord. That is, came to the West, he went to the Western world. Srila Gurudev wanted to please Srila Prabhupada, because only through Guru you can please Krishna. So, these were some of the points from today's verse. There are many more, but because of lack of time, I couldn't discuss. So thank you for this opportunity. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patik Pamana Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for the wonderful class. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So for better understanding for Kannada devotees, I would like to share a few points from your lecture, Mataji, with your permission. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಧಾ ಸುಗೋಪಿಕಾ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಅವರು 2.6.27 ಶ್ಲೋಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ವರ್ಣನೆ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ನೋಡಿ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ತನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೋಮಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾಮಗ್ರಿಗಳನ್ನು ಭಗವಂತನ ಒಂದು ದೇಹದಿಂದ ಅವರು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಯಾವಾದಿ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು. ಮಾಯಾವಾದಿ ಫಿಲಾಸಫಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೇಗಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿನ ಅವ್ರು ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ದೇಹ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ ನಂತರ ಅವರು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಲೀನ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈಗ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಗೇನೆ ಆಕಾರ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋವಾಗ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಏನ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾನಂದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ನಾನು ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಜ್ಯೋತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಅದೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೆನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇಹ ಇದೆ, ಆಕಾರ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಸಲ್, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮಗೂ ಸಹ ಆಕಾರ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದು ಲಾಜಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ತರಗ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಸಾಮಗ್ರಿಗಳು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಹೋಮ ಹವನ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದ ಅವನು ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದಾನೇ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಈಗ ನಾವ್ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ನಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆತರ ಅಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿ. ಈ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ರು. ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪಕ್ಷಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಅಕ್ವಾಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನೀರಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳನ್ನ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಒಂದು ಕೌಂಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಣಿ ಜೀವರಾಶಿಗಳೇ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗಿಂತ. ಆದ್ರೂ ನೋಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನೇಚರ್ ಇಂದ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಕೃತಿಯಿಂದ ಭಗವಂತ ಕೊಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಅವರು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗಿ ತೃಪ್ತಿಯಿಂದ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಆ ಒಂದು ಗುಣ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾನೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು, ನನ್ನಿಂದಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ನನ್ನಿಂದಾನೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತಾನೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಭೌತಿಕವಾಗಿರುವಂತ ಶಕ್ತಿನೂ ಸಹ ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದಾನೇ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನ ಈ ಒಂದು ಲೀಲೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಸಹ ಭಗವಂತನಿಂದಾನೇ ತಗೊಂಡು ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಕ್ರಿಯೆಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಲೆಸನ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಸಹ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರುವಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಅರ್ಪಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಲೆಸನ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ವಿ ಶುಡ್ ಗಿವ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ದ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಗಾಡ್. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಗೋವಿಂದ ಆದಿ ಪುರುಷಂ ತಮಾಂ ಭಜಾಮಿ ಅಂತ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ನಾವ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರ ಒಂದು ಮರ್ಸಿಯಿಂದ ನಿಜವಾದ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ, ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಪೂಜೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನೋಡಿ. ಬೇರೆ ಇತರ ದೇವಾನ್ ದೇವತೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ರಿಚುವಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ದೇವೋತ್ತಮ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಅವನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಸುಲಭ. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಪತ್ರಂ ಪುಷ್ಪಂ ಫಲಂ ತೋಯಮಿ, 4 ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಅವ್ನ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಭಗವಂತ ಭಿಕ್ಷೆನ ಬೇಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಇಂದ, ಅವನು ನಿಜವಾದ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀತಿನ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಬೇಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರ ಮರ್ಸಿಯಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಟ್ರೂತ್, ನಿಜವಾದ ಸತ್ಯ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಜಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅಂತಿಮವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನೀವು ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಒಂದು ಧ್ಯೇಯ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಾರಾಯಣ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವ್ನು ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಪಡಿಸ್ತಾನೋ ಅವಾಗ್ಲೇ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಜನ್ಮ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ನಾರಾಯಣ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಯಜ್ಞ ಮಾಡುವ ಮುಖಾಂತರ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗಿನ ಕಲಿಯುಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಯಜ್ಞ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ವಸ್ತು ಯಾವುದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ಕಲುಷಿತವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಧಿ ಇದೆ, ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವೈಷ್ಣವರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದವನ್ನು ನೀಡುವಂತ ಮುಖಾಂತರ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫೀಡಿಂಗ್ ವೈಷ್ಣವಸ್. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಜ್ಞ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಭಗವಂತ ಅಗ್ನಿಯ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಆ ಯಜ್ಞನ ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಂತೆ, ಇದನ್ನ. ಆದರೆ ಈ ವೈಷ್ಣವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಭೋಜನ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಸಾದನ ನೀಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೈಷ್ಣವರ ಬಾಯಿ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅವ್ರ ಇದನ್ನ ಸ್ವೀಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಭಗವಂತ ತೃಪ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಜಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ವೈಷ್ಣವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನದು ಫೀಡಿಂಗ್ ವೈಷ್ಣವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಸಾದನ ನೀಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು ಭಗವಂತನಿಗೆ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಮಾರ್ಗ ಅಂತ. ಓನ್ಲಿ ವೇ, ಒಂದೇ ದಾರಿ ಇರೋದು ಭಗವಂತನ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಗುರುಗಳು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಭುಪಾದರು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಗುರುಗಳ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫುಲ್ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅವರು ಕಾರ್ಗೋ ಶಿಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ರೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ಜ್ಞಾನನ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ರು, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿನೇ ಅದೇ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆಗೇನೆ ನಮ್ ಗುರು ಮಹಾರಾಜರು ಸಹ ಅದೇ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ರು, ಎಷ್ಟೇ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋವಿದ್ರು ಸಹ ಅವರು ಆ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡುವಂತಹ ಗುಣನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದಾರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕದಿಂದ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ನಾರಾಯಣ ಏನು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ, ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ವೈಷ್ಣವರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫ್ಯೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಐ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಮಾತಾಜಿ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಹರಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Radha Sugopika Mataji, for nicely explaining the words, giving Prabhupada's experience, how Prabhupada went to US and taught this cult of Krishna consciousness. And as you also rightly mentioned, it's not Krishna, is not a beggar. So he's not waiting for our the footsteps. Of course, all the footsteps are of Krishna only. As you rightly said, we only offer to Krishna. So it's nice to see that you also learned many things from your husband, like by offering. One day you will offer yourself also to Krishna. So we have to cultivate that habit also. So in this verse, finally, it is mentioned that how human life is successful means, Prabhupada mentions that human life is thus made successful by pleasing Narayan and getting entrance into the direct association of Narayan in the spiritual kingdom Vaikuntha. So then how to please Narayan is to please his devotees. You also nicely mentioned that um, from our core of the heart, we have to feed the Vaishnavas. We don't see any qualification to feed Vaishnavas the prasadam, and that will make us, more enlightened and more happy in this life. Okay, so thank you very much, Veda Mataji, for your translation also. So we'll keep it open for others to share their views. Hare Krishna.